5, Long Beach Juniors, lane 6, Xavier, 4 minutes.
Lane 1 stick foot holder. Can you hear me on the radio? Is that a thumbs up or not?
Red marker. Yeah, we'll just go, kind of slow down, watch the lane.
Lane 1, I need you to go out 1 foot.
More now on the spot. Yes, I do not hear Mike. I'm on station.
Bob, just go ahead and call it. Mike will pick it up whenever he picks it up.
Thank you, Mike. 5 by 5.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Sunday's edition of the 36th Annual San Diego Crew Classic. Our first event, number 57 in your program, is the Junior Women's JV Petite Final. Checking lane assignments in lane number 1, it is Rose City Rowing Club out of Portland, Oregon. In lane 2, Holy Names Academy, and they come from Seattle, Washington. In lane 3, ZLAC Rowing Club.
Looking good this morning.
In lane 4, it is San Diego Rowing Club. The Long Beach Juniors out in lane 5, and Xavier College Preparatory out of Phoenix, Arizona is in lane 6.
ZLAC, San Diego Rowing, Long Beach Juniors, Xavier. Attention.
We have a start of the Junior JV Petite Final, event number 57. All boats are level across the first 50 meters. Hard to tell who's in the lead here. At the 100 meter, all boats across. It is a fair start, no breakage. And we look at lane 1, Rose City from Portland, Oregon, our visitors from the north, pushing out a deck in front of lane 6. Xavier College from the desert, beautiful Rio Salado. As we approach the 250 meter mark, we're looking at inside to Rose City and almost level with Long Beach Juniors in lane 5 and Xavier from lane 6. Holy Names Academy is back about 4 seats at this point. ZLAC 5 seats down. And San Diego Rowing also about 5 seats down. But right now it's level between Rose City, Long Beach, and Xavier. It's a very good race. All boats overlapping at this point. Each boat is settled into the race pace. Looking long, looking strong. as we're approaching the 500 meters. Again, it's very close between Rose City and Long Beach, who are level as they cross the 500 meter mark, followed one seat down by Xavier in lane 6. A big move now by Holy Names in lane 2 is pulling up a level as well. Then it's San Diego and Long Beach. That's your call for the 500.
We are on event number 57, the women's, or rather the junior women's JV Petite final. Checking our lane assignments, our current leader, although being challenged in lane 1, is Rose City Rowing Club. In lane 2, Holy Names Academy. In lane 3, ZLAC Rowing Club. In lane 4, the San Diego Rowing Club. And lane 2 is challenging for the lead, the Long Beach Juniors, and Xavier College Preparatory is out in lane number 6.
Based on yesterday's results, the form crew in this event would be Rose City, who did a time of 7:30 yesterday, closely followed in the other heat by Holy Names at 7:31. Therefore, lanes 1 and 2 should be the lanes to watch, but there are early challenges coming from Long Beach Juniors in lane 5 and from Xavier in lane 6. Let's see what happens here. These are junior JV boats, so relatively young and inexperienced rowers. Sometimes for them, producing consistency from day to day can be a problem. So we'll see if they can, the form crews in this from yesterday can produce a result consistent with their efforts yesterday.
And Charles, as we discussed earlier, sometimes the result from the day before has to do with a little gamesmanship to kind of psych out the other crew. So sometimes those numbers aren't right on. But right now, in lane number 1, we have Rose City Rowing out of Portland, Oregon, and they are being challenged along lane 2 by Holy Names Academy. Outside is Xavier and Long Beach Junior, and in the middle of our field, San Diego Rowing Club and ZLAC Rowing Club as they approach 1,000 meters.
Yes, we can see that Holy Names, after a fairly slow start, have started to push through Rose City. They probably have about half a length at this stage, and the crews on the far side that were throwing in the early challenge are starting to trail a little.
Appears that Holy Name may have moved up to either at first or challenging directly forward against Rose City. They're in lanes 2 and 1, closest to the shoreline if you're not familiar with our numbering system here. And mid part of the race course, that is ZLAC making a move up on the far outside. Xavier has fallen back just a bit. But then comes Long Beach Juniors and then San Diego Rowing Club.
Yes, Holy Names certainly seem to have stretched out a little bit here. Looking down the race course, they're just coming into view. Obviously, it's very difficult to tell as you look down at the angle of a race course, of a race coming your way. Those with experience can look at it and go, oh yeah, so-and-so's ahead. But those of you who haven't been looking at rowing races for years and years, it can be a bit confusing. But as we come down towards the final 500, Holy Names have really put in a strong third 500 and have moved slightly away from Rose City. And Holy Names and Rose City have opened up a gap on the rest of the field, but it is really, really tight between the remaining 4 crews for that third place.
Rose City and Xavier, along with Long Beach, got off to a very good start, and Holy Names had to catch up, and they've done that successfully as we near our 500 meter mark to go in this race out of 2,000 meters. It is Holy Names Academy out of Seattle, Washington. They are in lane number 2. Along the shoreline in lane 1 is Rose City, and they are being challenged on the far outside now by Long Beach Juniors, seeming to have caught their second wind. On the far outside, it is Xavier College Prep out of Phoenix, Arizona, and then to the inside, it is ZLAC Rowing, and trailing is San Diego Rowing Club. Holy Names continues to widen the gap. It appears now that they may have some open water over Rose City in lane number 1, and the other crews are falling back. However, Long Beach Juniors, after getting an excellent start, have begun to challenge a bit, and on the outside, Xavier is also making a move, followed by ZLAC and San Diego Rowing Club.
this would be very heartening for the local ZLAC program. In recent years, if they'll forgive me for saying so, they've struggled to be competitive, but this is a very strong showing by the ZLAC crew in lane 3, and they appear to be moving very strongly in the final 500, and look like they're challenging Long Beach and Xavier for that 3rd spot.
Holy Name still on our lead, and they are in lane 2, just outboard of Rose City along the shoreline. But our race seems to be shaping up between ZLAC, Long Beach, and Xavier. Xavier beginning to tail off just a little bit, Long Beach exerting themselves, and the ZLAC Rowing Club trying to hang on. I would say that they are bow marker to bow marker, even Long Beach and ZLAC. Back to the beginning is Holy Names Academy. Rose City is open water back, and then we have a strong pull on 3 crews. This is ZLAC on the near side. Looks like they may have overtaken Long Beach on the outside, and Xavier is beginning to fade a bit as San Diego Rowing Club gets a little bit of a strong finish as they move through the 100 meters to go mark. Back to the leadership. It appears that Holy Names has won it coast to coast. Rose City, apparently the 2nd place winner. And then on the outside, it appears that Long Beach Juniors did hold off the late charge by ZLAC and Xavier on the outside. Next up will be event number 58. This is the Junior Men's JV Petite Final. And looking at the lane assignments, in lane number 1, Marina Aquatic Center. Lane 2 is Marin Rowing. San Diego Rowing Club will be pulling out of lane 3. Rose City Rowing Club from Portland in lane 4. And San Diego Rowing Club out in lane number 5.